See, the idea here is whenever you want to learn, of course, the certification is mandatory at some point during your job search or during your promotion. But what I'm saying is, you fail multiple times in your own lab. Don't learn anything with theory or interview point of view. Maybe you can run for 1 or 2 years, but whenever there is a technology changes or version changes, you will end up with a lot of stress. What I'm going to do? So take deep breath. First, if say, for example, if you are going to learn Azure, first set up all the prerequisites with your laptop itself. Portal.azure.com or hub.azure.com or travis.com, ca.com, or the DevOps, dev.azure.com. So all those things, lab, whatever prerequisites according to that program, you first set it up and make sure you are ready with the prerequisites. Then you watch the video or learn something and do it yourself with minimum 5 to 10 times. The reason I'm saying is, most of us, we are working for a different technology, or we are not at all getting a hands-on on that specific technology. So most of the fear is going to be how I'm going to project to the different vertical. Simple. You are learning hands-on, plus you are learning use cases. Okay. So you change your resume. Please be on mute. So you change your resume and you can go for the interview. So the interview is going to ask a lot of questions which you already know how to do it with hands-on and the relevant real-time use cases. You project yourself, you have completed all this in your current project. Simple. If you are speaking like this, I'm really sure most of the companies will prefer you. So don't worry that you are not working in so-and-so technology. This is my first advice for past 9 years to everyone. And we are going to we are not going to release only trainings. We are also going to release architecture. We are going to release security assessment programs. We are going to release a lot of automation scripts. Of course, we are going to help a lot of query sessions, which I was doing one-to-one. Now I want to do in a professional way. Okay. So now most of the people now, they are really want to have the DevOps. First, we will go with the DevOps. Now, what I'm saying is, in DevOps, if you want to become a cloud or DevOps, then first you need to start with Linux. This Linux path. Once you got a good idea on Linux administration, then start with cloud. Currently, the major monopoly in the market is AWS and Azure. Okay, don't learn cloud just a certification point of view. This is, I'm flagging out last 6 years. Most of my followers, they know what I'm really conveying to them. If you learn certification point of view in any of the project, once you joined, you have to do all the task, or you have to consult the task, but the opponent team going to be core technical, which means you will feel a lot of embarrassment. So what my first advice is, learn cloud in the way that what is cloud, how to size a cloud, how to expand the cloud, how to migrate the cloud, how to design a cloud. Maybe you are a junior, then design part you can just understand what is what. If you are a senior, then you have to go for in-depth. Then cloud administrator, what they can do, even though you are a senior person, means you are not going to touch anything hands-on, but learning hands-on is going to help you to take a decisions. So Azure and AWS, and now upcoming is Google Cloud. So once I learned cloud, also you need to explore the use cases. What kind of a use cases you can do it in a day-to-day real time in your project, which I am also started released parallelly this week. Also, I'm releasing 8 videos. How to automate via Terraform, how to automate via Ansible, how to automate via Chef. So how to automate via Python. So this is the only area where you are going to work in the production. You learn a cloud, but in a real-time production, I'm sure you are not going to manage cloud manually. Definitely there will be some automation tool which you are going to manage the agreed tool. And right now the market is going towards Ansible and Terraform. Here also most of the people having more confusion that, Vijay, I want to learn only Ansible or Terraform. I would suggest, if you are not from programming background, please start with Ansible, because Ansible, if you know Linux, learning Ansible is somewhat easy. But Terraform, you need to have some kind of a programming structure, but it's not so tough. So Ansible will help you to manage your infrastructure. I mean the configuration management. And Terraform is widely started using for many of the automation, many of the pipelines, many of the CI/CD, many of the day-to-day deliverables, especially on the frequent task. And the DevOps tools. Again, there is a one more confusion that I am learning Linux, I am learning cloud, I am learning automation. Then what is the point of DevOps tools? Most of the people, they are learning DevOps just for a GUI. I would suggest learn DevOps tools using Jenkins, because Jenkins, you can do it in your machine itself. It's open source. So, but people where they are failing is, you implement Jenkins cluster, and you start to integrate multiple workflow tools like Team, Slack, and Docker, Kubernetes, and even Artifactory, Nexus. So you integrate all this and explore how to do the end-to-end deliverable using completely automated. So I would say real time, this is how companies have started expecting. So learning DevOps tools, there is another major question from most of you is, Vijay, there is a Groovy script you don't need. If you are strong in Ansible, if you are strong in Terraform, use the Terraform to automate all the pipeline. Or if you are strong in PowerShell, if you are strong in CloudFormation, use that same tool to automate this. I will start release one by one. If you have any specific use case, please feel free to submit. Okay, so what I will do is, I will set up a lab. I will do it with hands-on. I will upload it. Still, after release that video also, if you have any clarification, please feel free to submit. I will clarify all your queries. And there is a Docker and Kubernetes. Most of the operation in another 1 or 2 years will be fully migrated to Docker Kubernetes. Of course, there is some business, they cannot go with Docker Kubernetes, but I would say 85% the world market will be moved to Docker Kubernetes. So the learning Docker Kubernetes is a very vital point at this time. So I'm also going to release Docker Kubernetes also, along with sample application, sample scripts. So if you are a beginner starting, please go for a Xerox mode. Like, you play a video, take the script, implement it 10 times. Then you know what is happening, right? Then you start dig it. You will have hundreds of questions. Please feel free to argue with me. I will help you to get the confidence of those 100 questions. That is very much important. First of all, you have to ask question, because the more you ask, I will help you. Because the common criteria is, if I ask what others will think, nobody will think, right? So it's your life, your career. Okay, so now I'm going to next slide. This also related to the DevOps. I hope you all seeing it, right? So here, the programming scripting languages, if you are starting as a beginner, okay, this part maybe you can consider as a Linux administration as of now. but I would strongly recommend Python. You have to start, because every domain going towards Python dependency. And of course, there is a version control. If you ask me, you please explore GitLab, GitHub, and Bitbucket. Of course, in Visual Source also, if you are going with Microsoft-based deliverables. And build automation tool, I just explained. So you can go with a couple of top automation tools, which I am going to cover it in the CI/CD module. And configuration management and tool deployment, either you can use it for Ansible and CI/CD tools, just now I explained. So instead of exploring Jenkins or particular CI/CD tool, you start to explore along with the tool more integrations. Once you integrated, you take some test code and deploy it. And the development to deployment to go live complete, you automate in your POC lab itself. You don't need a bigger environment. You need some 3 to 4 machine. You can achieve all the POC tasks. The test automation tool, of course, most of us are not from test background. It's fine. But what I'm saying is, take some test sample scenarios. I will help you do that, because this knowledge will help you in future if you are going with the DevSecOps. Nowadays, DevSecOps completely CI/CD pipeline based. So, and logging monitoring tool. If you are good in some monitoring, try to explore that monitoring tool itself, how to integrate with your existing CI/CD tool or the tool which you are exploring. Prometheus, one of the very good tool. And there is a top monitoring tool also. You can go for it. Cloud native also, you can integrate it. And database, you need to have some good idea on database. When I need to use what database. Yesterday also I asked the Paul. I started asking a lot of Pauls in my Telegram group. Most of the people, they answered wrong, which shows that they are running with certification, not for concept. So you need to have basic understanding. If you are a database architect, then well and good, because the database and storage, everything rotating around these two domains. Whatever you are going to implement new technology, the database and the storage is very, very mandatory. So most of the people, they used to ask, Vijay, I am from storage background, I am from database background, but I want to switch it to DevOps because I'm feeling there is no further growth. Which shows that they are not having a clear visibility. So if you are from this niche background, you need to explore. If you are, say, for example, you are a storage person, you need to explore how can I use this storage using cloud, using DevOps automation to achieve the end-to-end deliverable. That's it. And containerization. So past so many years, we were using a VM-based infrastructures. So in order to spin one VM, it takes, say, for example, 5 minutes. But we don't have that much patience because auto scaling requires only few seconds expectation to achieve my complete scaling. So Docker Kubernetes is going to be complete mandatory in upcoming years. So cloud computing, of course, right now the monopoly is Azure and AWS. Google also upcoming. So if you have all this mentioned in your own lab, if you fail multiple times, then you are a DevOps engineer. Along with this, all these sections, you also explored minimum 6 to 10 use cases. Then you can slowly project yourself as a SME. And along with these use cases, and you start think on architectural basis. Why I should use, why I should not use Anyway, I'm going to release another program for solution architecture. So don't worry. Even if you think some program will help you, you feel free to post it to me. I will add it, because if you take me, I don't have any technology background. I'm a re-engineering architect. So whatever the technology, I need to explore it, submit with all the bugs. My full-time job is to find the bugs. So you feel free to submit with me if you feel something which help you to your growth. Then we will go for the job path. If you learn all this, then you can project yourself as, I mean, not certification point of view. Again, I'm repeating, from hands-on, from your own POC lab, from more use cases. You can project yourself as cloud engineer, cloud administrator, DevOps engineer, DevOps architect, senior cloud architect. And there is another path most of people these days started asking: data analytics, data scientist, and AI. So you need to have basic max. Like, say, for example, these are all a basic criteria. You need to have, I would strongly recommend Python or R language, because if you say you are going to enter or you have a plan to enter data, then Python is really mandatory. And Java, if you have a knowledge, then go for it. But if you don't have a programming background, but still worth to explore Java. And concrete idea on database, because this is where you are going to put most of your journey, because you are going to handle enormous data. And machine learning algorithms. So the famous is TensorFlow and Pandas. You can explore during the starting point, either one of the library, you be a master. And then deep learning. Again, the TensorFlow, if you stick to TensorFlow will have all the functionalities. So if you are not able to get some understanding, or if you are not getting any small data set, please feel free to reach me. I have a lot of data set. I can help you to provide. You can just clone it in your GitHub repository. So you need one sample data set to do this in your own hands-on POC lab. And the next part, you have curated, you have analyzed your data, received data or some test data, right? Then you need some visualization tool to plot the graph. So the famous tools are Power BI. I haven't included Power BI, but Power BI is one of the very hot tool in the market now. And ClickSense and Spotfire. Spotfire is a TIBCO, and Tableau. So all these tools also I'm going to release one by one. So stay tuned. And big data tools, Hadoop. If you are already from Hadoop background, I would say you are in a right track, but you need to add some add-ons as per this career path. And ML, again, you need to have one cloud knowledge. If you have DevOps knowledge, it's a well and good, because whatever, again, I'm repeating, whatever task you are doing in your production, you have to create a pipeline to achieve the same. You need to create a lot of modeling using a Jupyter notebook, or there are a lot of ways, but you need to feed it through some pipeline. So learning cloud, learning DevOps, learning containerization will never ever going to be wasted if you choose any path going forward. Let me just delete all this. I think we can change some color. So this also going to be, if you learn all this, then you can project yourself as ML engineer, data scientist, data analyst, and AI engineer. And you can add, instead of Python, if you are good in R programming, you replace with Python with R programming and data engineer and Python developer. Python developer is one of the more demand in the market now because of data boom, everywhere data. And Hadoop developer, couple of people 2 days back, you all asked Hadoop, I'm a Hadoop developer, what I need to do. So again, I'm saying, if you are going to be any stream, if you have good knowledge on cloud, if you have good knowledge on automation tool, if you have good knowledge on containerization, if you have good knowledge on pipeline, which you can apply straightforward to your current stream. So you Hadoop developer should start do a lot of POC around data set. Take some data set, do all analysis. If you want, I can provide a lot of use cases. You try out in your POC lab. So then you can project yourself to create or curate that entire ETL in your POC lab. And Hadoop architect, basically you need to provide a solution. If there is a project comes for some data, okay, so you need to design the whole architecture. If you don't have any idea how to design the data architectures, anyway, I'm going to start brainstorm. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one architecture. I'm going to do a brainstorm. So you watch those architecture brainstorming videos, then you raise all your queries. I'm happy to help you. Of course, this part I won't prefer because I'm not from management. But if you want to be a manager, of course you need to have a good technical knowledge to manage the technical team, because I'm not from management background. But of course, if you want to be a manager, but hereafter you cannot survive without a concrete technical knowledge, because remember, you are going to handle directly client technical team also. So then further one is data migration head. Let me clear out everything. And this also one of the easiest way to understand. So I am having Linux fundamentals, and then I know Python. I know some small data set, how to create, how to curate, how to handle the data part. Then come here. So you need to explore more on what kind of a data and what kind of a medium you are going to receive it, and each medium how you are going to handle the data. Then you can project yourself as a big data Hadoop admin. Basically, you need to set up this expectation for relevant infrastructure. And if you want to be a developer for this, you need to develop this part. So completely you are going to develop till this, you can project. But if you want to design, there is a big data architect and learning the cloud. Again, I'm saying, if you go and search Google cloud jobs, they are not asking only cloud. They are asking cloud knowledge. They are asking automation knowledge. They are asking DevOps tools knowledge. They are asking Docker container. I mean, some of the platforms, they used to call it as microservices. So the learning the cloud DevOps path plus add on this, which is going to be more weightage on your further roadmap. Let me just clear out. Okay, so those who are not watched the first video, what I'm going to launch as part of this, I will quickly show you. Of course, we are not available any mode going forward. We are only available online, and we are only available through WhatsApp. I'm going to show you a couple of things before I open the query session. Most of people, they are raised that we are getting confused. No need to confuse. For your reference, always stick to the home page. So in this home page, we are planning to create a individual playlist. Okay, so suppose shortly we are launching the architectural review. So you can find one more playlist, architecture review. We are going to launch one more automation use case, AWS Ansible automation. The same way, Azure Terraform automation, Azure Ansible automation. So each playlist will help you to understand the related videos and the scripts. Okay, so if you go to the first video, I think a couple of people. So come down. So you keep raise all your queries here. So which we will cover it one by one with each week the technical query session. And if you want to understand the 5 months what I'm going to launch, this video will give you a clear. Anyway, just now I explained in this PPT. The same in a different PPT format I'm presented in this video. And Azure till now, today morning also I launched the class 9. So you can watch one by one so that you can have your own POC lab. But I would suggest each session you present it in your POC lab minimum 5 to 10 times. I'm not interested on the theory part learning crowd. Okay, they are going to live with the stress till they retire from IT. I'm interested. I'm trying to help only people who want to learn themselves from their POC lab. This is how I'm helping last 9 years. And the Terraform automation also, I already created almost 800 videos. I'm going to launch one by one along with the scripts also you can download. And also one more major point is if you can bookmark our GitHub, github.com/cloudandloud. You can find every scripts based on the video. Say for example, even the documentation also, Azure training. So actually today, whatever the class release, the relevant documentation I'm yet to upload. I will upload it after this session. So if you find this folder wise, you will see all the documentation here. Even you can follow the video, or along with the video, along with this document, you can do it on your own. The same way, if you go to tomorrow, once I launch the security assessment, there is a folder called security assessment. You will see class 1, class 2 kind of a scenarios here. And the same way, the Terraform scripts, I clearly mentioned AWS cloud proof of concept using Terraform. We are going to create all the scripts. If you want such scripts, come to this folder. First, refer the README file. Okay, so here I clearly mentioned proof of concept 1, proof of concept 2, where it is. So you can go to the relevant folder. You can download this zip. You can install zip for Windows and extract it using WinRAR or 7-zip. All you need to do is you need to just follow the steps. Maybe this variable may be changed, but you don't need to create any scripts. But make sure whenever there is a script you are trying to create, there should be a lot of checkpoints. If you watch the video, you will understand very clearly. This is how you need to project yourself as a very good solution architect. Okay, so now I'm opening one by one. Please go and ask all your queries. Don't rush. You ask n number of queries, but please rest of the people be on mute. Yeah, you can unmute and start it.
Yes, Vijay. This is Srinath.
Hi.
Yeah. So I have a little bit knowledge in, as you said, most of the things related to Hadoop, right?
Yes.
But I am very much experienced in Oracle as well as SQL Server. Also, I am having very much experience in data migration like some of the ETL tools
Okay.
like SSIS and SSRS. Also, side by side, I am learning Hadoop Data Factory.
Okay.
So exactly where can I match? Because also I am learning DevOps also. So exactly where can I match?
So if you are from Oracle background, PLSQL background, but I would suggest, you said data factory, right? You create a small data. Okay, you put it in the multiple database. Okay, but so when you put a multiple database, the data set also should be related to that database. So you need to create some semi-structured data, you need to create a unstructured data, you need to create a structured data, and you need to create a script to handle the curation. So so whatever you are doing, you also apply this logic in creating a complete pipeline till reporting, till deployment, or till curation. So complete ETL. So this end-to-end, if you explore, it will be easy for you to project yourself as a consultant, because data is future. If you go anywhere, the data is the major part going forward. But my suggestion is, you take some architecture instead of doing a single component. Take the complete architecture and do a brainstorm. Okay, if you have some architecture and if you want to do it, let me know. We will sit together, we will review it.
Okay.
Just, because the idea here is, first 1 or 2 months, next 1 or 2 months, I'm going to first complete all this, then I'm going to sit only in senior level.
Sure.
So you choose, you pick up some architecture, but please remove any IP related information or project related information or any sensitive information. Please remove from that architecture diagrams. Better you create some sample diagram, what you want to ask, and then we will sit together. I'm happy to review the architecture one. But only thing is, you please submit before itself so that I can plan my schedules accordingly.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, go one by one. Any other queries?
With a general question here is this one. So as of the, you prepared the roadmap and the DevOps category. So you are personally suggesting going the Python, some of the things was there. So are you any planning to give those trainings also going forward, like
So
Python things also?
I'm planning to launch the first set of program, this first set of programs, Linux administration and Linux use cases, and Azure use cases, and AWS use cases, and Ansible use cases, and Jenkins CI/CD and CI/CD use cases, Docker and Kubernetes and related to use cases, plus Python related use cases. So
Okay.
this program one will cover all this in stretch of 5 to 6 months. Initially,
Yeah.
I planned without AWS and without Python, but these days people asked me, you add this also, these two modules also, which is going to help. So this modules, whatever I explained, if you are from any background, it is going to be really mandatory going forward. Some people will think, I'm from storage background, why I need to learn cloud, why I need to DevOps. Please remember, most of the legacy projects, of course, there is some legacy project, but if you want to move it to next level in the industry, then definitely you need to have cloud and DevOps and containerization knowledge, very mandatory. But people are failing to accept that they are from database background, so they need to only explore more on the database, how I'm going to make it in cloud, how I'm going to automate in cloud or on-premises database perspective. So they are going completely away from their existing experience. which is making them to not succeed.
Thank you.
Any other?
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, Shri, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Vijay, thanks for the wonderful session in the first place. So you suggested the starting point to be Linux. Okay.
Yes.
So where do we start? Say, of course, basically we are from
So-
product management background. So in terms of the laptop specification or anything, or can
See,
we?
most of my previous trainings, they need to have a huge high-end laptop, everything. But nowadays, I will prefer only 4 GB RAM with minimum Intel i5. That is more than enough.
Okay.
With good Wi-Fi enabled.
Okay.
Because if you create a Google Cloud account, they are
Mhm.
giving you as 3 months free trial,
Okay.
and you can launch up to 5 missions. The capacity is almost 20 CPU plus 34 GB RAM, which is more than enough to do most of the niche POCs.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now I'm coming. Recently, I posted in Telegram group because this question most of people they started asking these days.
Okay.
For each course, what kind of a lab I need to ensure. So
Yeah.
if you take Linux, you need 512 MB RAM
Hmm?
and 1 CPU,
Hmm?
2 machines, server and client. This is
Okay.
more than enough to do all Linux administration tasks.
Okay.
If you ask Azure,
Hmm?
then portal.azure.com and then dev.azure.com and then hub.docker.com, travisci.com, travisci.com, then you can go for all this Azure learnings.
Okay. Okay.
Plus, if you ask AWS, aws.amazon.com,
Hmm?
then you need to have a Ansible environment because you need to make the use cases via Ansible, use cases via Terraform.
Okay.
And you need to have some storage explorer and S3 browser and CloudFormation CLI tool, AWS CLI tool. These are all. Anyway, I will help you. Most of the session, I'm going to release first what is the prerequisites you need to have before you start.
Okay.
For Azure also, if you look at the channel homepage, the first video, I mentioned very clearly what are all prerequisites you need.
Okay.
Then if you want to go for Ansible, then I would suggest many people they are learning through some small environment, but I would always advise put some 2 missions, some minimum 3 mission, because
Okay.
you want to explore a real time and you need to project yourself as a real time exposure, even though you are working a different technology, correct?
Yeah.
So you need 3 Linux mission, either Ubuntu or CentOS. But slowly you come out of CentOS because CentOS is no more, it's a stream based they converting. So better you stick with Ubuntu for all your POCs.
Okay.
So
And from a script perspective, if you want to learn Linux scripts, is there anywhere where we can start as a fresher? That's one question. And the second thing is that at some point, probably we would seek your help to use GitHub and run those scripts. Because one thing is we want to understand the basics of those scripts, just like Python, the basic instructions, the loop structure and other things. In Linux, what are the instructions? What are the syntax we have for us to initially to start understanding? And the second part is that to take the GitHub, the scripts in the GitHub and then run those things to understand what it is or how to run that. So once we have the basic platform being set, that will be easier for us to really experiment all those scripts what you have given in those GitHub.
yeah, so how we are going to put is, we are going to put the script and also we are going to help you to understand how to run the script with the hands-on video.
Okay,
So
okay.
all you need to do is you download the script, make
Okay.
sure you have those 2 Linux machine.
Hmm?
Okay, you watch the video, pause the video, you do it in your POC lab.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, still if you feel any issue, feel free to submit your request. We will help you.
Sure. Thanks, Vijay.
Because next 2 months only I'm going to be stretched for all this video release. After that, I'm going to help you only one part, query sessions.
Okay.
Keep arrange query sessions. I will sit with your people and then
Sure.
keep take remote control of your machine, and then I'll help you.
Sure, Vijay.
But only thing is you need to keep note down all your queries, as I said.
Sure, we'll do that. Thank you.
Any other queries?
I'm not aware of what this Hadoop does now. What are the capabilities of Hadoop? Why an organization needs Hadoop?
See, Hadoop is basically a big data. So as I said, you are almost we are entering into data stream. If you take any deliverable, then the data mining and data virtualization is the biggest part. Based on the decision only, the business is going to decide what they need to do further. So Hadoop is the area where it's a I would say it's a starting point. So if you want to go for a data scientist or data analytics, many people they are directly going, but start with a Hadoop. Then you know how to set up the infrastructure, how to handle the environment. This will give you when you enter actual data scientist role or data architect role. And Srinath said data factory, right? So when you go to data factory, most of the time we will get into confusion where what kind of a data and what kind of handling I'm going to do it, because it's a cloud, but still the backend infrastructure is going to handle similar functionality only. If you want, I can create a simple diagram. I will just share it with you for Hadoop. But I would suggest start if you want to start Hadoop, take some 3 to 4 missions and implement some small POC lab how to set up a Hadoop infrastructure. This will give you a pros and cons how the data infrastructure has to run it, because the data factory and all, it's a software as a service. Mostly we are just using the service and we are getting the functionality what we need, because it's a service.
I'm wondering, existing data providers like Oracle is there. What is not available in Oracle that is available in Hadoop? No capability. That perspective. Why are not?
No, actually, yeah, nowadays most of the providers they are started owning their specific offerings. If you take Oracle, they have their own data offerings. So if you are from some say specific product, SAP or Oracle, then I would suggest go with their native, because still Oracle leading the very good market in terms of the growth wise. Any other?
Hi Vijay, Hari Babu.
Hi.
Actually, I'm aware of that Linux and background, and AWS also I'm a little bit working in my environment. Kubernetes little bit hands-ons. Okay, so but I would like to learn for everything is automated in automation. So I have the doubt that side only. So what automations we can use is Ansible or Terraform? Is which one is the better one?
No, first you tell me what you want to be.
So for AWS, so I want to implement EC2 and use instances and VPC peering.
So basically you want to provision, right?
Yeah, provisions. Everything is
yeah. So provisioning means most of the time now the recommendation is go with Terraform. Suppose if you want to have any scanning or you need to understand the current environment, based on that you need to decide your further actions, then go with the Ansible.
Okay, Vijay.
Okay, because
So we are providing all documents access, or a particular part only you are giving the access if you
no.
join.
Most of the videos, whatever I'm trying, all the documents will be there also in the GitHub repository. So
Okay.
by seeing the video, if you are not confident, okay, but you can directly go to the GitHub. You can download the document. So now you have a document. You have the GitHub area
Videos.
plus videos.
Okay.
So both knowledge you can apply in your own POC lab. Still, if you are not able to understand how to do it or what is the concept, feel free to reach out to me during the query session. I'm happy to help you.
Yeah, sure. Vijay.
But only thing is, you first try in your POC lab and ask, because by yesterday also there are a couple of questions they posted to me through the chat. By seeing the question itself, I could have recognized that they are just trying to go with theory only. So I'm not going to concentrate, again I'm repeating, I'm not going to concentrate those who are running with theory. If you are trying multiple times in your POC lab, I'm very much happy to help you in most of the time. I'm happy to help.
Okay. Vijay.
Any other query?
Good morning, sir. Shubh.
Can you everyone go on mute if you are not talking?
Good morning, sir. Shubh Dadij.
Okay.
Shubh. So actually, my question is very general.
Okay.
So I'm a fresher actually.
Okay.
So what I'm facing, and also I'm doing lots of practice regarding this AWS, Linux, and all DevOps tools.
Okay.
So I'm facing the problem in the job actually. I'm applied so many jobs and I didn't get any response from them, like interview calls. And so I want to know what's the current scenario of the market actually. So
See,
are they hiring the freshers, and most of the, I saw the description, they are asking for the experienced person, 2 to 5 years of experience or such like that.
okay. So I would suggest most of the companies till we get some 2-year experience, it's very hard. I'm frankly speaking in IT in Indian industry.
Okay.
But after 2 years, most of the companies started recognizing. So I would suggest, if you are not getting any opportunity, you start some join some startup, but parallelly you give some try. But
Yeah, I'm trying actually from the last.
don't give up any POC related activity. I know you. Most of the time you are creating a lot of documents and reviewing with me. But what I'm saying is, you keep continue all your POC activity and keep me posted as you are doing till now. But you first start join some startup rather than waiting for MNC.
Okay. Yeah, I've applied on in the startups also, but there also I'm not getting any response. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably I'll just speak to you after this session, Subesh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sir.
Shubh, if you can send me your resume, I can try it out.
Okay, sir.
Any other query?
Sorry, Vijay, I hijacked your session. Sorry.
No problem, Sujit. Anyway, happy to see your face after so many years. Any other query? I think.
Good morning, Vijay.
Hi.
It is Vasant here.
Hi. Can you switch on your cam? Because next session onwards, I'm not going to entertain people who are shy to speak. Thing, because we are helping the community. So feel free to ask. Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, Vijay. Thanks for your time. I am currently working in a legacy environment.
Okay.
And I'm just when I see these type of tools being mentioned, I just get overwhelmed. I just want to know how to overcome this fear.
No. See, first of all, those who are leading the industry now, they are also started from scratch only with a lot of fear. Even if you take me 10 years back, I don't know what it is, all these technologies. But the habit you need to first start is you need to create your own POC lab, fail multiple times. Okay, so if you need any instruction, feel free to reach out to me. I will help you. But you should not distract for first 6 to 7 months, and you should not run behind certifications till you get some comfort, confidence on the knowledge. So if you are thinking that you are in legacy, then I would first suggest start explore Linux and first be master in Linux. Then you move on to one cloud. Each exercise minimum 5 to 10 times you do it. Then you explore some use case and you project yourself. Simple. But
regarding the POC labs, just wanted to know what is the best way to utilize, because it is all pay as you use.
No. If you are really looking for a lab, then create a Google Cloud account. It's a free account. 3 months they are giving free. Okay, after 3 months you can create a new account using the new credentials. So those 3 months you can actively do all your POC in the Google Cloud account. They are not going to charge you. Previously AWS given some good free trial, but nowadays they restricted only few services. So if you ask me, AWS free trial is not going to help you to do most of our POC labs, especially Docker Kubernetes. You need minimum 4 missions, each mission 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM, which is really not possible in AWS, but it's possible in Google Cloud. So while creating, it will ask a credit card or international enabled card. They will charge you, I think, $2. They will credit you back. So after 3 months, you can go for a new account. This is the way you no need to spend. That's what I repeatedly saying. You need to have very good fast internet. You need to have minimum i5 with 4 GB RAM. That's it. You can do every lab in your laptop itself using Google Cloud.
Thanks, Vijay. Thanks.
So if you have any difficulty to create these labs, please feel free to reach out to me. I will help you. Any other query?
Yeah, myself Ravi.
Hi Ravi.
Yeah, I'm having 10 plus years of experience in manual testing. I don't have any automation tool and no coding background.
Okay.
So I would like to switch my career to this DevOps. So for my experience, how it will be helpful, or
maybe
where I need to put my efforts to.
People will be really angry on me. So first of all, don't switch. You are in a very good domain. Only you need to explore is automate testing. Okay. If you are not believing me, you ask your friends who are in USA or Europe or Australia or Canada. Testing is one of the major core point, but only thing is you do some specialization. Of course, learning cloud and DevOps is going to really help you, because when you do a testing these days, one single person has to create all the test cases. Okay. Rest of the team will take care the further deliverables. But before you propose, you need to be sure your proposed scripts test units is working fine or not, correct?
Yeah.
So for that, you need to create a small POC lab with some end-to-end pipeline. So you need to have some sample code. For that, you create a testing, right? So what I'm saying is, for that, you learn all this. There is nothing wrong in that, because if you learn this, then you can do a lot of things in your own POC itself before you deliver actual test unit cases. Because if you are a manual testing, I would strongly suggest start some automation testing also, but don't change your domain. because
why yeah, why
testing.
I am
Go ahead.
yeah, why I'm trying to switch nowadays. Everyone running behind this DevOps, Hadoop, data
No, no.
scientists, so many things, right? So I thought I am backlog and everyone is moving forward.
No, no, no.
I feel that.
No, no, no. First of all, you need to understand one thing. The previous person also I said, you first close your ear. You ask the opinion only person who will not talk in just mouth. Okay, the person who is suggesting some path, he should not speak any lies. So there are a lot of people will always there to confuse, but they are really don't want to give any by heart suggestion. So I would suggest you listen only if you feel okay, this person is giving a right feedback. You sit with them most of the time. But for the testing, I strongly suggest, don't worry, you are a very hard domain. If you want, you ping me, I will share you how many openings I'm getting per day here, Europe. But the only problem is you need to upgrade yourself from the automation testing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other queries? Hi.
I'm basically from networking background.
Sorry, your good name.
Vignesh.
Okay. Okay.
I'm basically from the networking background. Done with the CCNA. Now I'm moved to cloud. Is there any on-premises experience is needed to before moving to cloud?
If you are really networking lover, then I strongly suggest, can you explore OpenStack or OpenStack? Okay, so if you are from networking background, if you want to explore as a networking, then probably you can reach me out. I will have a detailed explanation, but now I can just give you an overall idea. If you are a networking domain is really good, but only thing is you start focus on private clouds most of the time, and even if you take Azure or AWS, there is a VPC in AWS and Azure. There is a networking, right? Hub spoke model. There are a lot of methods. Okay, so you start to explore in those areas because that is the really specialization. Even in VMware also there is a specialization for networking. You explore in that area because the main problem is if you already have a some say 8 to 9 years in one domain, please don't go away from that existing knowledge. You add only the cloud related your existing domain, DevOps related your existing domain. So that will really boost your career. So if you want, you can just reach me out. I will help you to understand the detailed networking career with respect to cloud and DevOps, but don't go away from your networking. Because you know the politics, right? In our IT industry, what is the total experience, what is the relevant experience, correct? So
Yeah,
if you project yourself 20 years experience and if you project yourself relevant experience 1 year, that's all.
In networking, what's the path in cloud? I don't know.
Networking, I would strongly suggest you to explore private cloud. And all the networking related, say for example, one on-prem want to migrate it to a cloud, then what kind of a networking part you need to put the consultation. So those are all really hard cake in the market. So instead of focusing as a complete DevOps program, you focus only each module what is the networking related specialization. That will be really helpful for you. And the network assessment, there are a lot of networking assessment tools. So I can just list down all this. Probably I can share it with you. You can just send your query. I will send you my WhatsApp number also. You can just reach me out.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Any other query? Okay. So you all anyway, you are all in my Telegram group. You can start engage all your queries and join most of the sessions. Feel free to ask more questions. I will help you to understand. If possible, I will take your mission remote control. I will resolve your issues in release videos or any architecture one. If you are looking for some senior level consultation, my preference is you first engage with me your architectural requirement. We will agree both. Then we will set up a call. We will sit with the architectural review. But my first advice is you please remove all IP related information, all sensitive client related information, which is going to be really critical at first place.
Okay. Okay.
So if there is no query, probably we can wind up. We'll meet another session. Thanks for everyone.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Vijay.